Okay, finally got another mini boss to show up. So, hey guys, this is Game Cal playing Touhou the Genius and Sapphiros. This is Room D, and we are about to fight the, what was this called? The Ambivalence, I think it is. There we go. So this thing only has 25,000 HP, so it's the most fragile of the mini bosses, as far as I remember. It also has complete immunity to all physical attacks, but a weakness to every core element. So pick on an element and focus on that. It has some powerful target skills. I believe it has Meteor at its disposal, among others. So keep that in mind, but so long as you have an element on a physical attacker, this thing has no physical defense if I'm right. So it shouldn't take too long to go down when you have physical setup. So just keep that in mind, and I guess watch for Meteor, because that can be kind of dangerous. It has natural regen, which can get a little bit annoying, but it's really not too bad. I think it does have evasion though, so we'll need to use our never fail for the accuracy buff here. And I guess it has Void Cutter, but Void Cutter is really not that dangerous. Yeah, an elementally increased physical attacker just rips this fight in pieces. Sakura is actually pretty good for this fight. I know I said she's not too good for the stage in general, which is still true. She's still not super great for the stage, but she does have very good traits against some of the mid-bosses, so that is very nice. Void Cutter is a magic attack, so you can use magic evade and stuff like that to not get hurt by it. And there is the Meteor that didn't actually do that much damage because of my shielding, I guess. So Meteor is a mystic magic attack, so it can be evaded, it can be like dodged and stuff as well, so not too bad. And I think that will pretty much do this fight, because now I just need to finish it off with a jack move, and it'll be done. This thing drops, oh, it's also immune to line down, so that's more stuff to be into. And there we go. It drops the Holy Grail, which is a very strong light-based staff that I have never had drop, so yeah, just it's there, but I have not seen it myself. So, more levels for Julia, and maybe we'll actually get a new skill we're talking about. So, let's go over both of the skills. So obviously, Neo Yokai Buster, I said before, it's the column-based attack that has the same strength as the previous one, so that would go over regular Yokai Buster. It's got the same strength as Hyper Amulet, it does cost a fair bit more, but it has the same cooldown as the previous one, so you could still use it consecutively, which is really good. And then the spell card that she got, Divine Fantasy, does take a lot of turns to recover from. Like, the cooldown is really, really high, but it's a very powerful skill. Like, it always hits everything, it has high strength to it, and it's just a cool skill to have around. So yeah, that was the mid-boss in Room D. I guess I don't have to do any more in there, because the other mid-boss was the Giant, and we already fought the Giant before, so now it's a case of let's go back and heal and try and find the mid-bosses in Room C. And that will be basically it, because we couldn't find the one in Room B. The second one I tried to find in there, and we haven't had any mid-bosses in Room C yet, so let's see if we can have something go. Well, there is a rare drop for us. So this guy, I think, is Traipsing that the Abyss Worm drops as well. Sakura gains another level with Nihao. Yes, it is. Traipsing. Yep, pretty good item to get. I still need a few of those if I want to upgrade some of the Alright, Byakuran gains another level. Reimu's almost at another level, which is pretty good. Still getting some bonus experience for most of the characters here. Well, I mean, most is in half. So, Byakuran, Sakuya, and Reimu are still not at the on-par level yet. Kinda scary to think about. Not this fight again. And this one's really, really annoying to deal with. Okay, and after a really frustrating fight, we do have Reimu up at level 11, so that is pretty good. And I need to go back and heal, because I lost most of my MP there, so heck yeah. And there's another 2 level ups, one for Sana, so she's 1 level away from leveling her final skill, and one for Sakuya to get her very high up again. Her dexterity is really bad, I just understand. That's why her accuracy is terrible. That and her weapons have low accuracy to carry off, so yeah, you really need to have an accuracy buff with you if you want to use Byakuran at this stage. It's just an unfortunate truth of the matter. And it looks like Nitori is going to gain another level here, which is good, and she starts learning these skills. So this isn't going to be something that the main game will take too much stock in, but she does get more powerful spell cards for all of her core elements, and for her non-core elements to be honest, but they come a bit later. So Sun Gracer Comet is an extremely potent fire attack, obviously takes a lot of MP, and it does always have a cooldown turn, but it has ridiculous firepower going for it. It hits the entire field, of course, so if you need a strong fire attack, this is definitely a skill to consider. Just watch your bomb stop, because yeah, those bombs will run out pretty quickly if you're not careful. Alright, Alice gains another level 2, so level 72, a ridiculous amount of HP. Once again, Alice is mostly going to be super high level because she's just almost essential for this stage to function properly. So yeah, it's unfortunate that she is going to get so high compared to the offensive characters, but at the same time, at least she doesn't do outright attacking, so like I've said before, she won't directly break the game just by being a little bit stronger than the attacking characters. And in what may be our final level, Byakuya gains 1 to level 64. So I think that's... okay, that's not quite the last enemy here, but it's getting close to it, and I have gone through all of the enemies that you've seen twice, and have not had any encounters here, like mid-boss encounters, so I think at this point I'm just going to call it quits. And we're just gonna try and finish the game here. I really wanted to show off all the mini-bosses, but they are rather rare, and if they don't show up, there's no way I can show them off. So maybe if I do decide to do this kind of stuff, I can go ahead and show them off, but I don't anticipate doing that right now. Again, we'll probably discuss that more when the time comes, but yeah, they decided not to show, and I am not going to waste my time anymore going for them, unless I need to get more levels in order to beat the final boss, which at the moment I don't know if I will need to or not. I haven't tried, of course, and my characters are a lot weaker than they were in my completed file, but at the same time I don't see that as a bad thing. Like, I feel as if I can still potentially do it. It may be a bit more like this than I would like though, so I might still not do it because it will be really difficult, and I may end up needing to get all of my characters into the 70s, but we'll give it a go and we'll see if it works. But I can't reach it this turn, so until then, I guess there may be more enemies in this place, so I'm not gonna like sign off just yet because I may be missing an enemy I could hear. But if I'm not, that's going to be this video done. That will be the last, I guess, thing for this. Good job. It's Patchouli there getting the final kill. Pretty good. Raymond, of course, does get that last level, 264, which is pretty solid. And, oh no, there is an enemy still here. Hey! And just because I said none of them showed up. Okay, so, the Druid has, I think it's about 35,000 HP, and it's very much just a basic magician with very straightforward attacks as far as I remember. It can use Comet, I think it is. It's either Comet or Meteor when it's at low health. And I think sometimes if you're unlucky even when it's at higher health it'll decide to use it. But it doesn't have any elemental strengths or weaknesses as far as I remember. So really this just comes down to damage it as much as you can. Probably focus on one element and go from there. Let's just see how much Jack does to it. And try not to get nuked, I suppose. That's the take home. Yeah, it just has powerful magic, so lots of multi-hit stuff, and that does a reasonable amount considering that wasn't buffed at all. We'll Legion this turn just so I can go for more attack stuff there. Damage-wise, I think I'm doing okay at the moment, so we'll Element for Fire, because that will add to my damage output. And yeah, hopefully we'll take this guy down before we run out of MP on Self. Yeah. So Alice can have a hard time defending against this guy because he does sort of have that nasty effect of having a ton of elemental magic, and magic is not really what Alice does overly well against. I don't need to heal this turn, I'm just going to Dark Spirit. I mean, if I could get the debuff on the magic attack, that would be fantastic, but I don't think you can do that, so we'll just see. Yeah, Shining Stars kind of hurts a little bit, but it's not too bad here. And yeah, it is just a case of whistling it down. Like most of these bosses, they do take quite a while. I mean, they're gonna take a bit longer because I'm not using heavy attacking styles here. I am using 3 supporters basically, but to be completely honest with you, surviving this stage is really hard if you don't do stuff like that. So let's conserve some here. Let's go with Soul Sculpture here. I'll probably alternate between Jack and Soul Sculpture from here on out so that I can get a good amount of damage off and basically get as much out of my MP as possible. And sooner or later it will start using Meteor, but until then it's really not too difficult to approach. It's just eventually he will start using some nastier magic, so we just have to hope that I can survive at that point. Maybe I'll end up starting to use Javelin just to conserve it and a bit more as well, because yeah, when you only hit once with Javelin, it really doesn't do very much. That's why I say that Misaki is really not very good for this stage, because she's too inconsistent. She doesn't do solid damage all the time. She really is highly dependent on luck. And if your luck is not hot, then you are probably not going to do a lot of damage. That makes sense. It does seem to have some status stuff as well, I guess. I forgot about that, but it doesn't matter too much. As its HP starts going down, it will do 2 attacks per turn, and that's when it starts getting a little bit trickier to handle, but nothing that we are not capable of dealing with right now. It's more just a case of do we have the damage up to win this fight. That is the question here. Because, I mean, so long as Patchouli's up to kick it, then I think we're okay. Lightning hurts a bit though. It's alright, we're still surviving. I think I'll Legion this turn, because this turn I'll be able to get a Dark Heal off and get myself recovered a decent bit. Sonai is running out of MP a little bit too, as is Patchouli, but he is wearing rather thin himself, so that is good. And, well, let's just persist with our strategy. It's working for the moment, it's just a case of if it comments, then, or meteor, I forget which one it is, then I might be in trouble. But if you can take it out quick enough, then you don't have to worry about that. Of course, this is a magician by class, so Nitori's really good here, and Marissa's really good here. Marissa's better than Patchouli for this fight, but I was leveling Patchouli, so there we go. Although Marissa's actually lowering now, so leveling Marissa would make more sense, but I didn't want to change the party from what I have right now because this is really fine enough. And yeah, we'll just try and take the style flares and everything you can do. That's something slow then. Single target Mystic Move. And a double cast, almost getting enough damage out of here. Let's use the Hackaway Barrier to make sure that we don't take too much damage this turn. And it should go down at the end of this move. I'm actually going to go for a spell back here as well. We'll go for as much firepower as we can to take this guy out. I don't remember what he drops because I don't think I've ever actually dropped him. So I think it's still a great or something, but I don't actually know what he does. Also, that double spell cast is really cool, and wow, we get the rare drop off it instead. That is actually pretty cool. The rare equipment drop as Sakura gains one more level, 264, and it is another foreign parts for Nitori. So I guess if we wanted to spend all the parts on getting Nitori's gear, that would be great, except I'm probably not going to use Nitori in the final round, so thanks, game? Question mark? No, that's actually really cool though. Getting 2 of her rare drop would help out an awful lot if I was to do grinding for the post game. Or, you know, basically doing the post game, but I feel like the post game is just far too much in terms of grinding for what I want to do here. Anyway, I did spot there was one more enemy there. There may well be one more chance to get the other guy to show up, and that would be really cool if I could do that, so we shall have a stab at that. And so just before we end this part for good, and potentially in the LP like the next sort of part here, I just wanted to go over the couple of rare enemies that I'm surprised at least this one that we never saw during the stage. So there's a couple of enemies that appear at all parts during the stage which are incredibly rare but have very nice bonuses to them if you do manage to find them and take them out. So the Harbour Frog here, as you see, it has a little box on its back. It's actually a pretty cool enemy. It is weak to water and slash, and it basically runs after 2 turns of being in play, but if you kill it before it runs away, then you get a random item. It's not accessory stuff like that, but a random synthesis item from anything, all the way from rocks to rare parts. You know, you can get Nitori wings, stuff like that from these. And it's pretty damn awesome. Also, my throat is kind of dying. So, excuse me. So, yeah, these guys usually use like Poison Breath on the first turn, and then a basic attack or something like that on the second turn, something around about that. And then they run on the third turn. So you have to kill them quickly, but if you do manage to take them out, like I said, it's a guaranteed item. And when you combine all the chances of getting the rare items off it from every character, that is a very substantial amount compared, it's a very substantial chance. Sometimes slow down a little bit. It's a very substantial chance to get an item compared to the rest of the stage, the enemies in the stage. It's like a 3.6% chance or something to get a rare drop, like the legendary materials. So it's not high, but it's much higher than any other chance you've got, so that's kind of cool. And then going through the rest of the enemies, like I said, we've already gone over these ones before, so I don't need to worry too much about them. Kind of wish I could have shown the fight with this guy, but well, the this guy as well. I really wanted to get the shield from the Capricorn here, but no such luck. And this is the other guy that you can see. It's a very rare enemy that shows up with the regular monsters, and it's actually immune to water. It's weak to electric instead, so a little bit different from the usual beetle-like monsters. And it does have a shield. It uses Mad Thunder and has a lot more HP than standard enemies, but other than that, I don't remember it being too difficult. It just almost never shows up. It's an incredibly rare fight. But if you do get it to show up, it seems to have a pretty good chance of dropping its shield, which the Exorcism Rune Shield is a really amazing lightweight shield. Very high chance to activate, and it has a very good chance to block magic and some chance to block physical. As I think, as I tap the buttons on everything there, I can actually go ahead and show that if I find where I put it. Or maybe I don't have it equipped at the moment. No I don't, it's in here. So, very good physical and magic defense, and it blocks magic 50% of the time, and the physical attacks I would reckon 25% of the time from there. So, very strong item, obviously would be really good for Alice because it's a blockable shield and it blocks magic first. I think it's the only shield, I may be wrong on this, but I think it's the only shield that blocks magic before physical that isn't one of these types of shields, because the like special shields can block that as well, but they only block one element very well, and then they don't block everything else particularly well. But I think the Exorcism Rune Shield is the only other shield that blocks magic first and physical second. Usually it's either physical first and magic second, or it's magic only, or physical only, or physical plus a few elements. You know, it's not blocking magic and then physical, it's a weird combination. Maybe the Force Shield does it actually. I don't remember. Do I have the Force Shield? Can I show you the Force Shield? I cannot. Okay. Well, whatever. It's one of the only cases if it's not the only one. So yeah, that's what we have missed during the main playthrough. I may, if I do post-game stuff, I will probably try and show those fights off, because I'll most likely be equipment heading in there later on. But I don't think I'm going to do that, so that's as much as the game is willing to show me in a reasonable time. So for now, this has been Gaming Cat playing Touhou Genesis Aferos. Next time we try and take on the final boss, and I think even if I don't succeed, I may well go ahead and show the attempt off anyway, because the final fight is pretty amazing, and I would want to show it off, like, in its fullest, win or lose. However, I do need to play it, you know, and practice up a bit beforehand, so I can see if it's even possible. And if I really can't do it at all, then I may have to do some more leveling, I guess. So yeah.